My name is Blake and welcome to the bar. I had a fan write into the show recently asking, "Hey Blake, I'm a big fan of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and I'm excited for the new Magic set. I was wondering if you can make a cocktail inspired by this." Thank you so much for writing in. I think that's a great idea. So first things first, let's get geared up and I'll walk you through how to make a drink that I'm calling the Bloody Michelangelo. This is a pizza flavored Bloody Mary and I'm really excited to share it with you guys. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was introduced to us back in the 1980s as a comic book, and has since grown to become one of the most iconic IPs. It follows 4 heroes named after Renaissance artists who, as babies, were contaminated with a radioactive ooze, and then were raised by their master Splinter in the ways of ninjutsu. And now they live in the sewers of New York City, protecting the people, fighting their arch nemesis Shredder, and most famously, eating a ton of pizza. I had a ton of fun going to a local brewery and doing the pre-release last week. It was fun opening packs and seeing all of the iconic characters and looking at all of the pizza themes throughout all of the cards. Because of that, I do think that this pizza-flavored Bloody Mary is going to be a great way for us to incorporate a cocktail into this set. For this, we're gonna make 2 ingredients. One is gonna be a pepperoni and Parmesan cheese fat washed vodka. And then the other ingredient is going to be a pizza flavored tomato juice or Bloody Mary mix that has basil, oregano, garlic, heirloom tomatoes, pepper, red chili flakes, hot sauce. It's super, super delicious. So with that in mind, let me show you how to make those ingredients and then I'll see you back here to give it a taste.
We'll start by making our pizza bloody mix. So gather all the ingredients. I got these 2 gorgeous heirloom tomatoes. We'll also need a clove of garlic, fresh oregano, fresh basil, some whole black peppercorn that's crushed in a mortar and pestle, crushed red pepper flakes, a few limes, and some hot sauce. I use Cholula. 2 things to note. First, tomato juice is actually clear, and it's the skin and pulp that make it appear red. I wanted a clearer drink, so we're filtering out all of the pulp. Since we're adding a ton of other ingredients, the final result isn't going to be completely clear, but if I really wanted, I could have done the agar-agar clarification technique that was displayed in my Sylvan Prime Cordial video to make it completely clear. Second, all people have different preferences on spice level and flavor profiles. I'm not going to give exact measurements here, but taste as you go and keep blending until you get the flavor to your preference. So combine all the ingredients in a blender and strain it through a cheesecloth. This will take a very long time, so be patient, ideally let it sit overnight. I was running up against the deadline, so I did squeeze some juice out, which again contributed to it not being completely clear. Finally, bottle it and keep it in the fridge. Next, we'll make our pepperoni pizza vodka. Start by grabbing a sheet pan and lay out your pepperoni into a single layer and place in a 350-degree oven to let the pepperoni fat render out. While that's in the oven, start grating your Parmesan cheese. We're aiming for 40 grams of each ingredient. Keep an eye on the pepperoni. You don't want it to burn and impart like a charcoal flavor into the vodka. I caught mine just before it went too long. Probably should have pulled it out a little bit sooner. Pour the pepperoni oil and the Parmesan cheese into a mason jar and then top the jar off with vodka. Seal the jar and make sure that it's watertight because this is going into a water bath set to 150 degrees for 2 hours. Once that's done infusing, give the jar a little bit of a shake and turn it upside down and place in the freezer until the fat has solidified. By placing it upside down, the fat will rise to the top, and then when turned right side up, it's much easier to strain the fat out. We'll then run the vodka through a coffee filter, bottle it up, and there you have your pepperoni pizza vodka. Finally, to assemble the drink, measure out 2 ounces of our pepperoni pizza vodka, 4.5 ounces of our pizza bloody mix, and finally garnish with a pizza roll. I remember staying up late, watching cartoons, and chowing down on pizza rolls with friends growing up, so this feels like the right garnish for the cocktail.
Let's give it a taste. That is, it is like oddly reminiscent of like eating a slice of pizza. Yeah. Packs a bunch of umami flavor with the tomato juice. That oregano and basil really come through. That kind of separates it from a normal Bloody Mary compared to this. It's also a little bit more delicate, if you will. I feel like a lot of Bloody Marys kind of hit you in the face with that almost like tomato puree. Since we're just using like the clarified juice aspect of it, it's a lot more subtle, but it does pack a little bit of a punch in the back of your throat. A little bit of that red pepper and Cholula actually come through quite a bit. So overall, I think this is a success. Definitely a lot of work goes into it, but I highly recommend it. With that in mind, I hope you enjoy this set. I hope you enjoy building new decks, going to your local game stores and playing the game. And if you're not into Magic, I hope you try a new cocktail and let me know how it goes. So leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. Let me know any ideas for cocktails you'd like me to make in the future. And with that in mind, I'll see you in the sewers and go make some magic at the bar. Cowabunga, dudes. Let's give this a taste.
What is that?
Totino's popsicle.
Oh, wow. That is pizza
Yeah,
in a liquid.
it really is.